Every man, woman, and child in Mississippi can rationalize how they have always been friends to the colored man. All of a sudden they wake up here one morning and are told that the way they've operated for the last 100 years is wrong. This is a hard thing to just tell a man that he spent his life doing something wrong. He doesn't have to believe it. And then all of a sudden, we're some kind of demon. If you live in Mississippi and run a cotton plantation, you're supposed to be some kind of demon. This is the national image of a cotton plantation operator in the Mississippi Delta.
Yes, sir, you are some kind of demon, because sharecropping was supposed to end in the 1940s in Mississippi, but amazingly lingered on until there was the farm equipment in the 1960s, so you didn't need your sharecroppers and your slaves and your indentured servants any longer.
Humphreys McGee owns a 2,500-acre plantation in the Mississippi Delta. His mother's family has been in the state for 7 generations. And on his father's side, the McGees moved South Carolina. Charleston was the elegant capital of Southern culture in the 19th century. Mississippi was the frontier. Attitudes hardened early. The old way of life has endured in Mississippi longer than anywhere else.
See, the Civil War's over, and regardless of the evils of slavery, these people understood each other. It was not some sort of medieval torture for a person to be a tenant farmer on a plantation. And I don't know anybody that's ashamed of the system, the way it worked. It's an impossible system to return to. With that mechanical cotton picker, one man could do what 150 men had been doing.
He just said the quiet part out loud. With his mechanical cotton picker, he no longer needed these people. I'm so glad your family was able to generate 6-7 generations worth of wealth off the backs of that slave labor.
The crown and blow to this system. Everything's geared to machinery. Where I used to have 83 families on the plantation, I have 15 boys working machine operators. But I will say that the system we had was a system that, on the surface, developed a very outgoing, happy group of people. They're old people now, but these are the people that I...
Buddy, if they didn't show that they were outgoing and happy, God knows what you and your family would have done to them. They weren't allowed to own a farm like you. Guys, and this is 1966, okay? That's somebody's grandpa that's running around today.
Grew up thinking I knew.
In the frontier days, slaves begged not to be sent to Mississippi, where their work was almost as harsh as the overseers.
Yeah, it's amazing how old Humphrey doesn't see it that way. That slaves were begging not to be sent to Mississippi. That nobody wanted to be a sharecropper in Mississippi. Because of the heat, because of the work, and because of how evil the plantation owners were.
Resistance was often subtle, but seldom absent. A runaway slave said that each so-called happy song was a testimony against slavery and a prayer for deliverance.
This system, in its best sense, was based on noblesse oblige by the landowner. But I don't have 83 families anymore that I feel like I'm the daddy of.
Humphrey, let's get one thing straight. You were never anybody's daddy. You were their oppressor.
I do not expect to ever have this relationship with the younger generation, the children of these men. They are oriented entirely differently. They grew up in the 50s. They're conscious of the changing the status quo. They are fairly confused about what their position is. They don't want to be subservient.
From when I saw my mother and father and my brothers do while I was growing up, I feel that I don't want any of my kids to go in a world like this. Because I know some days I saw my mother slaving from 6 in the morning in hot sun, 100-degree weather, from pulling a hoe in a field from 6 until night, with about an hour's break between us all this time. And my father doing labor that machines wouldn't even be made to do hardly. The labor's that bad. And I feel that if we've been working this long and can't even on the shirts on our back, I feel that we have to take some drastic steps to make something happen, to make a change come about, because Mississippi is going to either have to change or there can be no more Mississippi. And we have to do this in any means as possible. Through our parents, we've earned Mississippi. There's no question about it, brother. I mean, if my mother got there and sweated from morning until night, and you tell me I don't own anything she sweated on, I mean, how can that be? How can it be?
How can it be, America? How can it be that we allowed a group of people to be taken advantage of for so fucking long and then do nothing in fucking return for them? Nothing. Less than nothing. Because not only have we not helped them out financially in any way, shape, or form, we trivialize the shit they go through. We gaslight them.
The white man does not want to give over his institutions. And that's what people fear that would happen. You just don't want to turn over the reins of everything and give up control. Who wants to give up control? Miles out. Okay, guys, get in the car. Let's go. So white supremacy is undoubtedly a feeling that white people have all over the world. Of course, how the black man and the white man would live together has been the paramount concern of people ever since the Mississippi Valley was settled, especially when the greatest number were the black people. The problem is, I don't need the men I used to need.
And then he says the quiet part out loud at the end. The machines made it not necessary to have slaves any longer, or sharecroppers, or indentured servants, however you would like to frame it. But if it wasn't for that, system wouldn't have been so bad. And that every person that looks like me is worried about YT supremacy.